Hello everyone, this is your English teacher Mrs. Aimavati from LP Savani Vidya Bhavan. Students, today we will start with a new story, I Want Something in a Cage. This is an interesting story which tells about Mr. Purcell, an old man who owns a pet shop. So let's begin with the story. Mr. Purcell did not believe in ghosts. Nevertheless, the man who bought the two doves and his strange act immediately thereafter left him with a distinct sense of the uncanny, as though behind his departed customer there had lingered the musty smell of an abandoned haunted house. So the story begins with Mr. Purcell, that how Mr. Purcell felt about a strange customer who bought two doves from him. Mr. Purcell was a proud owner of a pet shop. Mr. Purcell was a small, fuzzy man, red cheeks and a tight melon stomach. Large glasses magnified his eyes so as to give him the appearance of a wise and genial owl. He owned a pet shop. He sold cats and dogs and monkeys. He dealt in fish food and birdseed, prescribed remedies for ailing canaries, and displayed on his shelves long rows of ornate and gilded cages. He considered himself something of a professional man. So here author has described Mr. Purcell appearance, how Mr. Purcell look. He is a very small fuzzy man. He has red cheeks and he has a stomach which looks like a melon. Yeah, and his large magnifying glasses that is make him feel look his appearance look like a wise and genial owl. He used to sell cats, dogs, and monkeys. He deal with fish food and bird seed. Sometimes he prescribe remedies for if canaries are small, bright yellow birds. So if these canaries have any kind of problem, he used to prescribe remedies for them. And the shelves which are displayed, he used to deal with ornamental cages. Next is he considered himself something as a professional man. A constant stir of movement pervaded his shop, whispered twitter, sly rustlings, squeals, cheeps, and sudden squeaks. Small feet scampered in frantic circles, frightened, bewildered, blindly seeking. Across the shelves pulsed his endless flicker of life. But the customer who came in, aren't they cute? Look at that little cage. They are sweet. And Mr. Purcell himself would smile and briskly rub his hands and emphatically shake his head. So the creatures which were inside the cage, they made different kinds of noise. So like squeals, cheeps, so squeaks. So these are all the different noise being made by the birds and animals which were present at Mr. Purcell's shop. So and here the customer who used to visit Mr. Purcell's shop, they appreciate for the collection which Mr. Purcell had at his shop. So this made him feel very happy. Each morning, when the routine of opening his shop was completed, it was the proprietor's custom to perch on a high stool behind the counter, unfold his morning paper, and digest the day's news. As he read, he would smirk, frown, reflectively purse his lips, knowingly lift his eyebrows, nod in grave agreement. He read everything, even advice to the lovelorn and the detailed columns of advertisement. So every morning when Mr. Purcell that is opens his shop, after completing his routine work, he settled on his high stool and opened his morning newspaper. So while going through the newspaper, he give different kinds of expressions, like he would smirk, frown, reflectively purse his lips, knowingly lift his eyebrows. So, these are all the expressions which Mr. Purcell used to give while he is going through the newspaper or while he is reading the newspaper. So, he used to go through detailed columns of advertisement, he used to go through each and every part of the newspaper. It was a rough day. A strong wind blew against the high plate glass windows. Smoke filled the wintry city, and the air was grey with a thick frost. Having completed his usual task, Mr. Purcell again mounted the high stool and unfolded his morning paper. He adjusted his glasses and glanced at the day's headlines. Chirping and squeaking and mewing vibrated all around him, yet Mr. Purcell heard it no more than he would have heard the monotonous ticking of a familiar clock. So it was a rough day. The weather was not good. Wind was blowing heavily, and on that day, Mr. Purcell, after completing his routine work, he settled down on the high stool and he opened his morning newspaper. He adjusted his glass and glanced at the day's headlines. There was chirping, squeaking, next mewing, vibration all around him, but he was not paying any attention because it was the same sound which he was listening every day. So, so it doesn't matter for him. There was a bell over the door that jingled whenever a customer entered. This morning, however, for the first time Mr. Purcell could recall, it failed to ring. Simply he glanced up, and there was the stranger standing just inside the door as if he had materialized out of thin air. He had a bell installed over the door that jingled every time when a customer entered the shop. But on that day, he was unable to hear the bell ring, and suddenly he could see a strange customer who came inside the shop, and he was standing in front of him. The storekeeper slid off his stool from the first instant. He knew instinctively, unreasonably, that the man hated him, but out of habit he rubbed his hands briskly together, smiled, and nodded. So, looking at the strange customer, the storekeeper, that is Mr. Purcell, slid off his stool, and from the first instant, Mr. Purcell could understand that the strange person hated Mr. Purcell. But though he is a customer, he has to attend him. So Mr. Purcell, that is, rubbed his hands together and smiled and nodded his head. Good morning, he beamed. What can I do for you? So Mr. Purcell greeted him good morning and asked, what can I do for you? The man's shiny shoes squeaked forward. His suit was cheap, ill fitting, but obviously new. He had a shuttling glance and close cropped hair. Ignoring Purcell for the moment, he rolled his gaze around the shadowy shop. So, the strange man, here the author tells us about appearance of the strange man. The man's shiny shoes squeaked forward. So, he was wearing shiny shoes. His suit was cheap, but it was ill fitting, means it was not in a proper fitting, and but it was obviously a new one. He had a shuttling glance and close cropped hair, and he was ignoring Mr. Purcell, and he rolled his look around the shop. So now Mr. Purcell, what he would speak to that strange person. So he said, a nasty morning, volunteered the shopkeeper. He clasped both hands across his melon like stomach and smiled importantly. I see by the paper we are in for a cold spell. Now, what was it you wanted? So, here, that is Mr. Purcell is asking to the strange man that, what do you want? The man stared closely at Mr. Purcell as though just Now, aware of his presence, he said, I want something in a cage. So the man replied that he wants something in a cage. Something in a cage? Mr. Purcell was a bit confused. You mean some sort of pet? So Mr. Purcell was not clear that what exactly the strange man wants. Something means what? Which kind of pet? He didn't specified him. So that is the reason Mr. Purcell was confused. I mean what I said, snapped the man. Something in a cage, something that is small. So the strange man replied that he wants something in a cage which is small. I see, hastened the shopkeeper, not at all certain that he did. His eyes narrowed gravely and he pursed his lips. Now let me think. A white rat, perhaps. I have some very nice white rats. So Mr. Purcell said that yes, you want something small. Then I think I have white rats. I have very nice white rats. No, said the man, not rats, something with wings, something that flies. So the strange man said, no, I don't want rats. I want something with wings and something that flies. A bird, exclaimed Mr. Purcell. So Mr. Purcell exclaimed, oh, you want a bird? A bird's all right. The customer pointed suddenly to the suspended cage which contained two snowy birds. Doves. How much of those? So the customer, the strange man, he pointed towards the cage in which there were two snowy birds and they were doves. So he asked Mr. Purcell that how much, what is the price or what is the cost of the two snowy birds. 550 came the prompt answer, and a very reasonable price. They are a fine pair. 550. The man was obviously crestfallen. So the man was disappointed. The strange man was disappointed when he heard that its cost is 550. He hesitantly produced a $5 bill. I would like to have these birds, but this is all I have got, just $5. So the man had only $5. So he said to Mr. Purcell that this is what I have, but I want these birds. Mentally, Mr. Purcell made a quick calculation which told him that at a 50-cent reduction, he could still reap a tidy profit. He smiled magnanimously. So, mentally, Mr. Purcell made a quick calculation which told him that at a 50-cent reduction, he is making a profit. So, he smiled and he agreed with the strange man's deal that he is ready to give him for $5. My dear man, if you want them that badly, you can certainly have them for $5. I will take them. He laid his $5 on the counter. Mr. Purcell tottered on tiptoe, unhooked the cage, and handed it to his customer. So, by taking $5, Mr. Purcell handed the cage with white doves to that customer. The man cocked his head to one side, listening to the constant chittering, the rustling scurry of the shop. That noise, he blurted. Doesn't it get you? Noise? What noise? Mr. Purcell looked surprised. He could hear nothing unusual because he was familiar with this noise. So that is the reason Mr. Purcell replied that there is nothing unusual. I don't understand which noise you are talking about. The customer glared. I mean, all this caged stuff drives you crazy, doesn't it? So, that is the strange man wants to say, Mr. Purcell, that the chittering and the rustling noise which is produced by these birds, it means they are feeling restless. Mr. Purcell drew back. Either the man was insane or drunk. He said hastily, yes, yes, certainly, I guess so. So Mr. Purcell thought that either this man is mad or he has drunk. So for that reason he is speaking in such a way. Listen, the staring eyes came closer. How long would you think it took me to make the $5? So the strange man is asking to Mr. Purcell. So just tell me how long it took me to earn this $5 the merchant wanted to order him out of the shop, but oddly enough, he couldn't. He heard himself dutifully asking, why, how long did it take you? So Mr. Purcell asked, okay, tell me, how long did it take you to earn $5? The other laughed. 10 years at hard labor. 10 years to earn $5? 50 cents a year. It was best Purcell decided to humor him. My, 10 years, that is certainly a long time now. So, that is, the strange man said that it took him 10 years of hard labor so that he could earn $5. Means he was earning 50 cents a year. So Mr. Purcell said, my God, it took you such a long time to earn that is $5. They give you $5, laughed the man, and a cheap suit, and tell you not to get caught again. From this statement of the stranger, the author wants to tell that this man was in prison for 10 years, and after 10 years he had been informed by the police not to be caught again. Mr. Purcell mopped his sweating brow. Now, about the care and feeding of your doves, I would advise. So, Mr. Purcell was little bit nervous when he came to know that this man has been caught and was there in prison for 10 years. So now he was about to tell about care and feeding of the doves. But let's see what happened, whether that is stranger listened to him or not. Bah! The man swung around and stalked abruptly from the store. Purcell sighed with sudden relief. He waddled to the window and stared out. Just outside, his peculiar customer had halted. He was holding his cage shoulder high, staring at his purchase. Then, opening the cage, he reached inside and drew out one of the doves. He tossed it into the air. He drew out the second and tossed it after the first. They rose like wind-blown balls of fluff and were lost in the smoky grey of the wintry city. For an instant, the liberator, silent and lifted gaze, watched after them. Then he dropped the cage. He shoved both hands deep in his trouser pockets, hunched down his head, and shuffled away. The merchant's brow was puckered with perplexity. So desperately had the man desired the doves that he had let him have them at a reduced price, and immediately he had turned them loose. Now, why, Mr. Purcell muttered, did he do that? He felt vaguely insulted. So, the strange customer was not interested to listen to Mr. Purcell, because Mr. Purcell wanted to tell him how to take care of these birds or how to feed them. So what he did, he went out of the shop, and he raised the cage to shoulder level. He opened the cage, and he that is he threw that he drew out both the doves one after the other, and then set them free. The doves flew away like fluffy balls and disappeared into the smoky grey sky. The customer he watched the birds when they were left free, and after some time he dropped the cage. Then Mr. Purcell was then the man he moved away from that place. So Mr. Purcell was he was perplexed. He was confused that by looking at such a strange act of the customer. by seeing the act of the strange customer. He wondered why he bought them to set them free. So he thought that by paying $5, this man bought two doves and he set them free. So, for that reason, Mr. Purcell felt uh, insulted. So, this is all about the story I Want Something in a Cage.